So have you ever wondered how would the popular game Pac-Man look like in the first person? What about how would Pac-Man look like as a horror game? All of those questions will be answered in today's video, where I'm gonna make Pac-Man in 3D, first person, and it's gonna be a horror game. Now you probably know what Pac-Man is. If not, then I don't even know how old are you. You're probably like 6 and you still haven't discovered this bussin' ass lady. But I mean, she's a mom and I don't really know your opinion on mothers, and I really didn't want to be the one to tell you, but she also has a husband. Yup, that's right, the thing called Pac-Man, and you know he has a dong between his sticks because he has a man in his name. Now my goal for today is to recreate this 2D kinda boring looking ass silly thing into a fully fledged 3D post-processing Ultra HD high quality the best of the best 4K graphics game that I will keep in my games folder and never open again. Now everyone knows how the Pac-Man map looks like. It has all of these constraints and they act as walls in the 2D space. Now the very first thing that I need to do is to download an image of the Pac-Man map, import it into Unity and raise the walls using ProBuilder, and that was really easy but extremely tedious, and I don't want to do that ever again. Now I need to add a first person controller that will be used as our character. Now we need to scale the map and not the character, okay? We cannot scale the character because it's gonna break everything, and we need to scale it so we can move through these corridors. Wait, what are you doing? I said scale the map, not the character! Now, as you guys probably do know, for humans to survive, they need to eat food. For Mrs. Pac-Man, that is Pac-Man's long stick that looks like his leg. And for Pac-Man, he really likes these balls, but for YouTube's sake, we'll call them small spheres. Now I added a mission on them so they can glow in the dark. It's like having that shirt you always cupped your hand to. This shirt actually glows in the dark. Now I place those small spheres around the map, copying the real map position of the spheres. But there's another thing Pac-Man likes, and what he likes the most is these big balls. You see, Pac-Man really loves big balls, because with those big balls he can eat out other ghosts. And if you don't know what Pac-Man game is, then this is probably way too much for you. But I made them red and that's all that matters, and let's move on. Now with a bit of adjusting of the size, post-processing on the overall look, we can now see it looks like an actual game. Now I need to tell you why Pac-Man even likes these spheres. Is because of money. But in Pac-Man's world it's score, so I made it so that you can now eat the spheres, get score, and if you eat the big sphere you get even more score. It's so good to applaud someone for eating bigger balls. Now I kinda got bored, so I added this very cool text animation which shows you every time you get a score. I made this using this asset right here. It's Damage Indicators Pro, and without joke it's really small in size, really easy to use, so I was let's see, and it's really good. Now the whole fun of Pac-Man is his serious death threats. He goes to work every day knowing he could get killed by these ghosts. See, these ghosts like balls just as much as he does, but those are the ghosts' balls, so Pac-Man is actually a thief. Wait a minute. I don't approve this at all. But now we have to make these ghosts, and they are basically the enemy AI. Now making AI in Unity is actually pretty simple. You have to know what you want to make, and that's the most important part. And my idea is to have the waypoints scattered across the map. And the AI, when in the patrolling state, will randomly pick a waypoint in an array of waypoints and go to that waypoint. But if he's in the chase state, that means he will chase us. But if we manage to escape enough, he will go back to patrolling the streets of hell. Because all of this is an endless maze and someone's gotta die. But there's one more thing left to do for the AI, and that is these big buggers. In the Pac-Man game, the ghosts wanna run away from you as far as possible when you wanna eat them. It's like they cannot believe you just ate the big bugger. It's all cool, but how in the hell do we do that in code? Well, my technique is think of a way that ghost is going to behave when you eat the bugger. He's gonna be scared, so he'll try to run as far as possible from you. So by that logic, the moment you eat the big bugger, the AI will check which waypoint is the furthest away from the location he's currently at, and he will basically try to go to the waypoint. But if you run out of the big bugger, he will try to go to the usual behavior. So if you're close to him and the big bugger ends, he will turn around and he will eat you. This big bugger lasts for 8 seconds, and with that the AI and the game is pretty much done. The only thing that's left to do is to make this game look better. We need models, walls, floors, sounds, and much more to make all of this fit together. Now, thanks to Sketchfab, I can get my hands onto one of these ghosts, which I will change the color of, and they will act as my enemies. They're not Mrs. Pac-Man sexy, but they'll work. And now we need to respawn these spheres once you ate them all. Now, I'm a specific kind of idiot. Like, I like to make stuff, but there has to be the easiest thing I get stuck on for no apparent reason. I've been coding now for a very long time, and I've been using Unity for multiple years. And I like to call this the death loop, where you're trying to code something in a way that is extremely stupid. And you do know that it's stupid, but you're way too stubborn to do the easy way because you think this will improve your game and your code by an insane amounts. And spoiler alert, it doesn't at all. And then you go off for 3 hours making a simple respawn method. And I'm not gonna say that it happened to me here, but 3 hours later we can now respawn these goddamn spheres once you ate all of them. And I'm not even gonna explain to you how I actually achieved that, because you'll just be like, really, dude? Like, you just could have done this easier way. I know, trust me, I know. One thing I didn't like about the game so far is the ability for the ghosts to creep up behind you trying to spread your cheeks while you're enjoying your spheres. To fix that, or to make your life a little bit easier, I added a minimap that will show you a part of the map and will help you maneuver easier, because randomly going through a maze is kinda disorienting. Now, if you didn't know how minimaps are created, well, I mean, how I created them, well, let me tell you. You basically just add another camera and position it above what you're trying to follow, and tell the camera, okay, just follow the player, and rotate the camera as you rotate the player, so it doesn't look very weird. And voila, now you can get a really cool minimap. I also finished the death and life system. Now you can die and leave your poor son Pac-Man Jr. without his dad, but he probably even wished for that many times. Or if you have the Big Bugga, you can eat the ghosts themselves. When I played the game, I noticed that the Big Bugga doesn't have something to represent it visually, so I added this effect where when you eat the Big Bugga you get this sudden urge to kill, which is really cool and really fun. Now, if you remember in the start of the video, I told you I was gonna make Pac-Man a horror game. Well, I'm not a liar, I mean, at least I think I'm not, so here you go. First, lower the intensity of the directional light, make the skybox black, add a fog, add a roof using a basic plane, make light more dark. This together made a really nice night effect. It's really cool now. Wait, let's check the time. It's time to be a fucking idiot again. Alright, yes, I started doing lives, and let me tell you, I love how my brain works. I love spending enormous amount of time on nothing and just waste my life. In the Pac-Man game, you have 3 lives, and I represented them with Pac-Man icons, as you can see here. When you die, the scene will restart, which will then make not static variables also restart or reset. So if the lives were 3, I get eaten, there's gonna be 2 lives left, which if the scene restarts, it's gonna be 3 again. That is the problem. So what did I do? Make a sensible solution how everything will work and then start working on the code. Or spend 2 hours of your goddamn life just figuring out most random shit. But I finally did it by adding the number of lives in the player pref, and that's something that saves the values. And then when we restart the level, I have used that number to reduce the amount of lives you have. Pretty simple solution if you're not dumb as me. Now, a game without music is like peanut butter without jelly, like a car without a driver, like cheeks without ass hairs. It just cannot exist. So I went online and found some creepy ambient music, and I recorded some of the voice lines. Big Bugga. Now that that's done, I can randomize some of the voice lines that I did and put them into the game.
Big Bugga time.
And the game is all done. It's really cool and amazing, and I really love the gameplay, but playing it really got me interested. How would the Pac-Man game look nowadays? This shit is boring. You need action. Like, you open any single game and it's constant action. Oh, it's the action right here, you're battling, or it's action right here, you're chopping wood. And in this game that we created right now, there's no action. There's just like, oh, there is the scary part of the mysterious thing and the ambient music and the ghosts are chasing you, but the progression system of it all kinda sucks. You're playing to get a higher score, but it really doesn't make sense. So let's actually try to fix that. Where is Mrs. Pac-Man that I need to save heroically out of the fire? Where is Pac-Man Jr. calling social services to tell them their dad is a failure who went to buy milk and got stuck stuffing his face in balls? Where is the horror in this horror game, people? Well, I didn't do any of that, but I added some upgrades you can buy with your score so that that score is actually somewhat useful. you can increase your score by buying these things with score that will ultimately make the game more fun. I went to Photoshop to really show my designer skills, and you guys know I am the perfect designer. I made 4 upgrades you can buy, imported them into Unity, programmed their entire functionality. You can now buy a flashlight which you can use to see better. You can acquire a pill which makes your speed go up. I mean, you're faster, and if that doesn't satisfy your needs, you can buy insta-kill, which will immediately kill all of the ghosts, but in reality, don't tell anyone, they will just respawn to the original position. And this will be cool to use when you see on the minimap that you are going to get cornered. You just use the insta-kill. The cool thing about this, like shop system, is because when you enter the shop, the game actually is paused, so you can actually see, like, okay, I'm gonna get cornered, use insta-kill, and basically you can save yourself that way. And lastly, you can buy yourself some wall hacks, which will remove all of the walls for you, but not the enemy. And this one is expensive as hell, as you can see the enemy like coming. But the cool thing about it is that because of the fog, you will not see so far away. You will see them if they're close. If they're far away, you will know that they're far away, but you will not know the exact location of them. Now for the most important part. I added a Pac-Man icon that actually eats dots. Hooray! Let's try it out, shall we? Now, can someone tell me in the comments, can I let you guys play this? I mean, so I can put it down in the description, a link so you can guys play, because I'm not really sure. I got these Pac-Man icons, which I think I will have to remove if I want to make the game public. So yeah, if you enjoyed the video, subscribe so you can become one of us, the big Bugga army. So subscribe.